I.S.U.P.K.
How many of you know about Greek fraternities or Greek sororities? They're very popular in all these colleges, right? But did you know that it was white people who started them back in the 1800s? Because little white boys wanted to be just like daddy and join Masons. They wanted to be Freemasons, but you know, they weren't old enough. They didn't have enough money to pay the yearly pledge or whatever they make you pay, right? So guess what? They go to universities off daddy's money and create their own little groups, their own fraternities. And that's where we get Greek fraternities and sororities from, right? Now I want to read you some information about black Greek fraternities and sororities. Since this is Black History Month, right? Right. Let's learn about how the sellouts of our ancestors loved white people so much that they wanted to create and make something just like white people. Black people weren't allowed to go to white schools. We weren't allowed to join white Greek fraternities and sororities. So you know what we did? When we were finally allowed to go to these white schools like Cornell, right? When they didn't accept us into their Greek fraternities and sororities, guess what? We started our own, right? It says here that at the start of the 20th century, African American students, us, at American universities, now it's not talking about black universities, it's talking about white American universities, like Cornell, or Columbia, or Harvard, or Stanford, right? Or what's the other one out there in California? UCLA, all these schools, right? Universities were often excluded from fraternal organizations. Black people in these universities weren't allowed to join white fraternities. We wanted to join our slave masters back in those days to join their Greek fraternities. But our slave masters didn't want us to join them in their Greek fraternities. It says, at the start of the 20th century, African American students at American universities were often excluded, not included, weren't allowed to join fraternal organizations which were enjoyed by predominantly white student populations at non-black colleges. Now this should make you wonder, well, why did we want to go to non-black colleges? Which means we wanted to join the white people in their nice white colleges, like Columbia and Cornell. We wanted to join them. We didn't want to be by ourselves and have our own education. We wanted to join their education. We wanted to join their groups. We wanted to be around them instead of surround ourselves with each other, right? Go to Proverbs 3:31. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 3, verse 31, right? Because we've always been envious and jealous of our slave master. Whatever our slave master has, we want to have also. Whatever our slave master does, we want to do also. Our slave master goes to the moon. Well, guess what? There's some black kid right now saying, man, I can't wait to get older so I can go to the moon too. There's some white person out there that say, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and own me a Starbucks coffee shop. Guess what? There's some Hispanic or Native American thinking, when I get older, I want to be just like the white man in my neighborhood who owns the Starbucks, and I want to own the Starbucks. All these white kids that go to these Ivy League schools and all these other universities, we want to go join them in these universities as well. Read
the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor.
It says what?
Envy.
Don't be jealous of. Don't think to yourself, man, I can't believe the white person, they got all these things, I want that too. I don't understand why I can't live in a nice house, in a penthouse. I don't understand why I can't, have blonde hair and blue eyes like them. I can't understand why they look so white. I look so dark, and I think it's ugly and disgusting. Don't think like that.
Right.
Having white skin is a disease. is a sickness according to the Bible.
Right.
Having blue eyes is a disease, it's a sickness according to the Bible.
Right.
Having blonde hair that's all nasty and smelly and smells like wet dog is a sin and it's disgusting and a sickness according to the Bible.
That's right.
If you're black, Hispanic, and Native American, putting blonde hair, dyeing your hair blonde, putting blue contacts in, using bleach soap to make your skin whiter, just remember it was considered unclean according to the Bible. You would have to be quarantined away from everyone else if you had blonde hair. Just a little blonde hair sticking out. Oh, we gotta check you out. We gotta make sure you're not gonna bring a disease to the rest of our beautiful black, brown, Hispanic, and Native American people. It was a disease. Read it again.
Envy thou not the oppressor.
It says, don't envy the oppressor. Don't be jealous that he's going to white schools and you can't. Don't be jealous that you can't join his organizations and groups and house and tree house clubs. Don't be jealous of that. Keep going.
And choose none of his ways.
And don't decide to do what he does. The white man wants to go join, or the white man wants to go build his own colleges and universities. Listen, don't even think about going to Columbia. Forget it. Forget about MIT. Forget about Harvard. Forget joining whatever these white people and Africans and Asians associate themselves with. How about we do our own thing? You know, we do have historically black colleges and universities, right? Which we hated so much that now they're crumbling right now. Historically black colleges and universities are crumbling, having roach infestation, rat infestation, mold growing on the dorms walls, the lack and difficult access to gain internet access from your dorm or your classes. It's horrendous and disrespectful. How we decided to abandon what we made for ourselves to be envious and join what white people had. It's truly degrading to our people. How we have to struggle to make our own things, and we have people like Martin Luther King selling us out. We have people like W.E.B. Du Bois selling us out.
No cowards in our camp, that'll let their colors fly.
I.S.U.P.K. 53rd Annual Lord Passover.
53rd Annual Lord's Passover is going to be held down here in Florida.
It's going down.
You're here tonight to get a chance to be righteous enough to be worthy of God coming to save you.
That's right.
It's going down. The Lord's 53rd Annual Passover.
When we say we no cowards, we talking business. We no cowards up in here.
Book your hotels now at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, the IHG Hotel, 301 Tucker Lane, Cocoa Beach, Florida, 32926.
Here's a lot of men down. You dealing with the men of war. We at war. I sided with the Lord.
Y'all see this?
Comes with all your dishes, pots, pans, forks, knives.
I kinda like this. This is like an apartment room and a hotel room, you know what I mean? Yeah. This here right here is about to be holy ground. It's gonna be holy ground. All our beautiful, wonderful brothers and sisters from all over the world. You understand? We can boast that now. Brothers and sisters coming not only from every state, but from all over the world. I heard the numbers this year is ridiculous. We had to buy out the whole hotel.
Friday, April 15th at the Space Coast Convention Center.
My camp undefeated. You cannot debate. You just want the clout. We just want the greatest. I'm just trying to get it.
This is going to be glorious.